Well, hello, everyone. My name is Brenda Reese. We have Mariano, Laura, and Rick with us today, and we're doing Conversation from Home. Welcome, everybody, on Facebook Live. And what I love to let you know is you have time. You want to reach out to everyone you know and share and let them know that we are live and we are here to conversate and talk from home, and let them know today what our favorite books are, our favorite motivational speakers, because in this virtual world that we're living in now, you can get all this information right off of YouTube, Facebook. Just go where you see the search, put in there whoever you want to hear from, whatever you want to learn about, and you can get it just that simple. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to turn this over to Laura, and she's going to share with us some great books that she loves.
Thank you, Brenda. Let me just pull my screen back up here, and I'll share this with you. So this is the first one I chose, and one of the reasons I chose this is because, a lot of people don't know that our tax system is meant for people that own small businesses. And if you have a small business, you really need to get this book. It was written by Sandy Botkin. He was a former IRS attorney. He also helped design our TaxBot app that we use in our business. But, when you own a small business, you can save actually $2,000 to $10,000 per year on your taxes. That's how much a small business can benefit you. And the thing I like about this lower your taxes big time is, a lot of times we all think our accountants are taking care of us, but sometimes they're just not. And everything he tells you can do in here, like hiring your kids, stuff that you can write off, all the loopholes, every bit of it refers to the IRS code that backs them up. So you definitely want to read through that and, arm yourself. And that way you at least know what to ask your accountant and make sure that your accountant's doing right by you. And then doesn't want to click. Okay, hang on a second. Let me try this again here. I got the wrong one up there. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. So one of my other favorites that I like, and that is Jack Canfield, and it's called The Success Principles. And he's got, I think, well over 50 principles in there. It's a really good read. But principle number 1, he'll tell you if you want to be successful, you have to take 100% responsibility for everything that you experience in life. This includes the levels of your achievements, the results you produce, the quality of your relationships, the state of your health and physical fitness, your income, your debts, and your feelings. I mean, everything, because it's not the circumstances that stops you, it's you. And it's just like when we talk about our business, you have all the tools, you have everything in place, but how what you produce is 100% dependent on you, your commitment, and what you decide to do. So this is another thing book that I like that is really good to help you get started. And then, of course, the other one, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. He mentions a lot of principles. Number 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. We're all individuals. You want to give an honest and sincere appreciation for people. And he also talks about arousing in others, the other person, an eager want. And then the rest of the book really goes into how to connect to people, which has a lot to do with listening. And so many people don't do that and don't take the time to listen. They just kind of talk and run over you. So, if you really want to be able to connect with people and learn how to build a business and a network, this book is definitely another good read. And I know Rick, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I know Rick has a lot more other good books too to share with us.
I'm going to turn it over to Mariano. Mariano, for you to go ahead, and I'm going to be bringing up some slides here that'll follow after you. So Mariano, if you can go ahead and share your slides.
Sure,
and then I'll be bringing mine up after you.
No problem whatsoever. So again, thanks Rick and Brenda and Laura for sharing what you've shared so far. And what I'd like to share with you folks is that, one of the things that you learn about being in business for yourself is that, again, you have to take ownership, right? Because it's all you know, the old phrase about if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that really applies to everything. And again, like Laura was just saying about ownership, but part of that whole process is getting inspired or being, you know, self-improving techniques that you need to take advantage of. And there's so much stuff out there. I mean, what we're sharing with you folks today is just the tip of the iceberg. And we're sure that you have other people that you like or other sources, but what we're sharing with you today are some of the things that we like to do. And then, you know, for our purposes, because again, remember when you're in business by yourself or for yourself, you're not by yourself, but again, it is your business and you need to approach it how, you know, you feel most appropriate. So for me, you know, one of the biggest things that that I use or I need to keep me focused is from a spiritual standpoint. You know, the book that's always at the top of the charts is the Bible, because of, you know, this, you know, when you listen and understand and absorb the things that are in the Bible and the passages there, and just understanding, you know, especially with this weekend being what it is, for those of you that practice or they're are believers, you know, this is a huge weekend, right? But I think what it also tells you, the message is that there's hope, and that, you know, all of us, as, you know, sinners as we are, you know, God loves us and he's going to take care of us and he's got this. All right. So we just need to understand the roles that we play in that. For me, you know, being a Catholic, there's another book that I like to use and it's entitled Give Us This Day. And it's daily readings, daily scripture, you know, daily mass readings and things like that. So I use that on a daily basis to kind of to keep me focused, to get me back on track or keep me on track. But on from a leadership standpoint and self-improvement standpoint, I also, and not to mention that, you know, the Bible does that too, right? But there's a gentleman by the name of John Maxwell that I'm sure many of you or most of you have already heard of. And in fact, you know, Rick's going to talk about some of his other books, but I'm in this leadership class right now that I've been taking with some other people here in town, and we're doing it virtually now. But the last 3 books that we've been reviewing or has been part of the course is Learning to Become a Person of Influence, Intentional Living, and No Limits. And you know, the titles themselves tell you what each of the books is about, and all of the things that are involved with becoming, you know, a person of influence, or again, intentional living. You know, it's kind of like going back to that ownership thing that Laura was just talking about. And the fact that you need to understand that there really aren't any limits. Again, excuse me, you know, Laura mentioned that about ownership. You know, we're the ones that control our own destiny. And so what John talks about in the No Limits book is the fact that there, you know, we can be as big as we want, but it's just up to us. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is Coach Tomer's 4th Quarter. I don't know, for those of you that are in the business with us, you know, what better book to read about, you know, what it is that we're all about, and his vision from one of our chief visionary officers, you know, one of the founders, the 3 original founders of our company. And, you know, he talks about his story, but probably the most important part that we want to share with you from that is his vision. You know, back when his mom was on her deathbed, she told him that he had a mission and he needed to go out and change the world. She didn't know what that was, but he needed to go out and find it. And so, you know, he found YTB and you know, Surge 55, and his vision is, for the 2020 vision that he's got, is to have 10,000 financially free families in the year 2020. So here we are, you know. So again, with what's happening and what's going to happen here shortly, you can be a part of that, and we encourage you to come join us. And you know, maybe it isn't for you, but you at least need to check us out, because we all know that the travel industry didn't become and isn't the largest industry in the world with people staying at home. And you know, we've only been in this quarantine situation for what, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, and after the first week, everybody was chomping at the bit to get out of the house, right? So if you don't think the floodgates are going to open whenever, you know, we're free to roam more more freely and, getting back to the kind of things we were doing, you're sadly mistaken. And so you want to put yourself in a position to be able to take advantage of that, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to get out of the house. So again, we encourage you to come join us and be a part of that 2020 vision that Coach Tomer had about being one of those 10,000 financially free families. So that's all I've got this morning. So Rick, back over to you.
Mariano, just wanted to have you share just a moment why Coach Tomer is a great motivational leader in the company.
Sure, I can do that. Those of us that have been with the company for a long time, and then the folks that you're seeing as part of this event this morning have been with the company for on the average of 13 years or more. So we've seen the ups and downs that the company has gone through. We've seen the personal sacrifices and trials and tribulations that our owners have gone through. And when we talk about people of influence and the people that you want to follow, okay, Coach Tomer, he reeks integrity, okay, because when Rick first showed me about this business, I really wasn't concerned too much about the compensation plan, and I really wasn't concerned too much about the service. Okay, my concern was, who are the people that own this company, and what kind of people are they? Because you see, I had just come from another opportunity where the company had been started by an individual who was a lot like Coach actually, and was a visionary and was doing great things, but then he sold the company to some corporate mentality types. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just the way that they handle business. And quite frankly, they didn't care about anybody in the field. They were just concerned about the bottom line. So when I learned about Coach Tomer and Kim, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us, but him and Scott and those three guys, and the integrity that they had, when I learned they were men of faith, and also the fact that they had been in the field like us, they saw a presentation just like the rest of us, and built a company from scratch. I knew that these are the kind of people that I want to be involved with, because I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt they would be taking care of the people, because that's where they came from. And I can tell you that over and over again, with the things that the company has been through, there's not too many CEOs in the world that will sell their personal property to keep the company afloat. I mean, most of those CEOs will, jump ship or take the money and run. But I can tell you that Coach Tomer sold all of his personal things, because they were just material things, because he was more concerned about us in the field, making sure that we got those paychecks every week, than the toys that he had and the house that he had. And God, what a beautiful house he had too. I mean, for those of us that were blessed to see the River House, when you talk about mansions and you talk about, an 8-car garage with all the toys in it, the view that he had over the Mississippi River, it just goes on and on. But you see, he was willing to sacrifice all that for us. And so if that doesn't tell you about the leadership and the underlying integrity and the message of this company, I don't know what does. So that's the kind of people that I want to follow, and that's the kind of people that I want to be influenced by. And so if you want a part of that, you need to check us out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mariano. And of course, as we know, we are influenced by the people that we hang with. And I hang with some awesome folks. And so I'm going to share some of the motivational speakers and the books that have shaped my life. And I believe you can see this now. And so one of them is Jim Rohn. And many of us have heard of him. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. We all must suffer one or two things, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Motivation is what gets you started, but the habits you create in life is what keeps you going. And I actually go through these as affirmations. And I always like to have positive affirmations. Another one is Steve Harvey. If you haven't had a chance now, you can go on YouTube and go ahead and search Jim Rome, Steve Harvey, Life Changing. And Steve Harvey says, eventually, you're going to have to jump. Many of us have forced jumped right now, because the jobs have pretty much said, go home. And you can't just exist in this life. You got to try to live. Take this opportunity to try to live. He also says, do not ignore your gift. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. Your gift will make room for you. And your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you're made for. And so right now you have an opportunity to search out your calling. Definitely go ahead and do that. Another one of my favorites, Les Brown. Les Brown, many of us know him. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Don't let people shape and define you. Define yourself. The only limits to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you use today. Oh, but. No, just go for it, folks. It's not over until you win. And then another one, definitely want you to search him out on YouTube. Evan Carmichael, he has the top 10 rules of success, and he's researched. He's put a ton of research in. He's made it his life purpose to research the deepest wisdom from hundreds of elite entrepreneurs. You can pretty much find anyone on there, and celebrities. And he studies their success clues, and they'll present their top 10 success clues, and it'll give you a shortcut to your path to achieve your mission in life. See, folks, we can change who we are by changing our thinking. We can change our existence. Now, I'm going to take a look at, show you my top books. Now, I could have gone on and on and on. It was hard. These are my favorite life-changing books. Now, these are books that I study. I have many other books, many other great authors, but Napoleon Hill, many of us have heard of him, Think and Grow Rich. That's probably the number one book. I like sex transmutation. You got to read that chapter on sex transmutation. That's a huge one for me. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Most of us have heard of Robert Kiyosaki. He's got some great stuff out now. Now, here's one that will blow your mind. Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Everything begins with a thought. And it's not about making money. It's about thinking and attracting. Florence Shen, that's another one that'll absolutely change your life. The game of life and how to play it. That's huge. And then many of us who've been around, we've heard of The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, and The Secret, the law of attraction. Everything that you have in your life right now, you actually are attracting it. How can you make the changes so that you can attract what you want and not what you don't want? A lot of it comes back to the attitude of gratitude. And then as Mariano mentioned, John Maxwell, that's a huge one right there. One of the books that I study, received it from a good friend of mine, Rick Hensley, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Follow these laws and people will follow you. Another one that's mind-blowing for me is Malcolm Gladwell. And many of us have read The Tipping Point, Blink, Outliers. Outliers is huge because Bill Gates didn't start the computer revolution. Bill Gates prepared. He was most prepared. He was doing computer programming in the 8th grade. So he was most prepared so that when it happened, when it was triggered by something in society, he was most prepared. Outliers. It says that right now, travel, people think travel is over. Are you kidding me? Travel is not over. The person that is going to become a multi-gazillionaire is the one that's preparing right now for when we're free to roam. Now imagine a world being locked down. Now everybody's free to travel. I got to get out of this house. I got to get out of this house. I got to go somewhere. Now imagine the business and being in that business to provide and to service the globe, the planet. Folks, that's huge. You want to get in travel right now. Zig Ziglar. Many of us have heard of Zig Ziglar. Top Performance, Secrets to Closing the Sale. Now, here's another one that'll blow your mind. I study these books, folks. The Fourth Dimension, The Key to Putting Your Faith to Work. The fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the dimension of faith, which overrules and overrides the third dimension, the second dimension, the first dimension. That's why you can believe something and actually create what you believe. And then I'm a military guy, General Colin Powell. Leadership Secrets, it worked for me. And if you're looking to move into leadership, as I used to tell my kids all the time, and now they tell me, leaders are readers, readers are leaders. And just like Mariano, my favorite book, the Holy Bible. It's funny because all the other books that I shared with you pretty much took information from this book as a source book. And so if this becomes a source book for you, get ready, because you're plugged into the source. And so we'll wrap up here. One of the things that, we're in Surge 365, and everyone is going through a time right now. I always tell people, to advance in life, look for the tools that you can use to help you advance. Don't just do it by yourself. No man, woman, person is an island. And so we found a great tool, Brenda and I, and the panelists on this call, and many others. And it is Surge 365. And as Mariano mentioned, it's more than just a business. It's life. It's life. And so, but how do you use Surge 365 in your home? And I truly believe this. Every home should have a Surge 365 business just because. Well, the membership is a wholesale club membership and lifestyle benefits program. So when we travel with the lowest rates. There's no markup at all. So when the world is free to travel, you definitely want that membership. If you shop online, you can shop online from over 75,000 retailers. And the great thing about it, when you shop even through Macy's or Walmart, you're getting reward credits. The second thing is the Vortex. Now, you've heard Mariano talk about the Vortex. It's a free complimentary link. Give it out to the world. It's international, unlimited customers worldwide. It's like you owning your own Expedia, but not paying $17 billion or $1 million a week to maintain it. Give it out to the world. When they go to that Vortex link, every transaction that happens on that link, you get credit for. And it's intentionally set up when they book hotels, cruises, cars, they're going to save over the Expedia rate up to 60%. Now, this is a fundraising tool as well as an income producing tool, because when they save up to 60% of whatever they save comes back to you. So you don't even have to manage this. Brenda and I, we get checks all the time of the Vortex. The other thing that's included in Surge 365, now this is all in our top package, the travel owners package. This is what's keeping people busy right now. They're honing their trade. Now, travel is huge. It's a career path. So this is an actual vocation, a global business. Included in accessing the travel industry is accessing all the training. Do you want to be a SeaWorld specialist, a Disney specialist? I love Laura. She takes all the trainings. Brenda, they take all the trainings. Right now, we've got a contest going. Who can get the most certifications based on their passion? Do you want to be a special needs travel specialist? Folks, this is trade training to hone the skills of your trade. If education is important to you, folks, this is huge. You're preparing for a blitz that's going to be coming in the future. And that's what most of the folks are doing right now. Another thing that's included, the Vacation Rewards Vault. Now, every dime you spend, you're earning reward credits, and they go into this vault. Even when someone books through the Vortex, you're earning reward credits. Not only are you getting a check, 60% of what they save, you're earning reward credits. They all accumulate back to you. Actually, when we share this with churches and organizations, They're collecting corporate level reward credits, businesses using that vortex, corporate level reward credits, and they spend for free travel. Hold your money, just pay for it with the reward credits. They're kind of like credit card points. Now, everyone that has a Surge 365 membership has the 7-day vacation reward, over 3,000 locations. And it's funny because people right now are planning on where they're going to go when this is all over. They're also taking the travel agent certifications because many of the vendors offer come out and visit us, free stuff. And so they're putting together these incredible packages of travel. Even Princess Cruises, they're taking the Princess Cruises online training and Princess Cruises as a graduation gift, free cruise for 2, anywhere they cruise. And so people are putting together their package. You right now need to be putting together your package. As Laura mentioned, and these are reasons why it's really a good idea in using tools to have a Surge 365 business in your home. Just the tax benefits alone make it worth it, folks. Getting those write-offs, pinching every penny that you can. And then the last reason, there's so many people that are out of work. And even after this is over, many people are not going to be going back to work. You know, this is going to be a convenient time for their companies to let them go. Many businesses are not going to survive this. It really is important to create and control your own family's financial future. And so one of the things I love about it, and I talk about circle of friends all the time, do you have a circle of friends that can come together? And as Brenda mentions many times, it may be beauticians that have been let go. It may be barbers that have been let go. It may be the people that used to work in restaurants and to serve in restaurants that are let go. There's so many career fields that have been let go. Imagine them coming together. And Mariano talks about this. Every 7 sales of a person getting their own home-based business is a $1,000 bonus. Create a circle of friends. Just come together, not only to use the product, but in building the team. And we're building an army that's going to be ready for when the world is released to travel again, to be able to provide them outstanding, excellent service. And so in doing that right now, create a weekly income, create a monthly income. Brenda and I, we get checks all the time just by serving and helping people. Create residual income that you can actually put in your will and pass on to your children's children's children. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity. I love how Brenda says, just watching Netflix, just watching TV. No, make this a productive time. This is your time to make a move in life. And so we shared with you some outstanding motivational books, outstanding motivational speakers. So I'm going to turn it over to Brenda for her to wrap us up. Over to you, Brenda.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rick. That was fantastic. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Mariano, for sharing what you guys love to read. And you know what? Between the 4 of us, you're looking at over 35 years of experience in this travel industry. You know this is a wealth of knowledge. So you definitely want to get back to one of us. You can inbox us, or you can get back to the person who invited you to watch this video. That's the only way you will be able to join us in Surge 365. And we love that. And we want you to join us. So happy Easter to everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the day. Stay safe, be strong, and stay home. Bye-bye, everyone.